Welcome to another episode of the Wealth Blueprint. Today my guest is Dr. Lindsey Johnson. Dr. Johnson is a doctor of chiropractic health, and she specializes in health and wellness with acupuncture, peptides, IVs, and really just solutions and habits for daily financial health and long-term longevity. So I'm really inspired by her story, her mindset, what a beautiful soul that she is, and I hope you guys learn a lot from this episode. Here is Dr. Lindsey Johnson. Like, is that funny to you when people throw around their title like that?
Yes.
Like, what's normally your reaction to that?
It's annoying. I don't know. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Not.
It's kind of like a status thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I guess attorneys are doctors too, right? They have a Juris Doctorate.
Well, physical therapists are. I mean, there's so many in different, everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody's and then you have your Instagram doctors.
Instagram doctors?
I mean, that.
Just people.
People that are like, hey, do this and this.
Yeah. I follow a couple of those. I mean, I think it's really easy to kind of figure out who's got your best interest or who's like trying to sell you a supplement or something silly. But you're a doctor in chiropractor?
In chiropractic, yes.
Okay.
So doctor of chiropractic. I have a specialty in acupuncture.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. And your husband's a doctor?
He's a chiropractor also.
Chiropractor as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I want to start off with that because we talked about this a little bit, but I've been to a chiropractor. I've never had like a long-term relationship with adjustments or anything like that. I think there's a lot of information out there that supports chiropractic health.
Yeah.
And then there's also a lot of information out there that like, this is, snake oil, it's ineffective, it's blah, blah, blah. So I want to jump into that because, and most people don't know this, but like my wife is a huge convert to you and your company, and it's made a huge difference in her life.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just want to jump into that. Like, why should you go see a chiropractor first of all? Let's start there.
Okay.
What's the benefit, and if I'm, a first time customer, what am I looking for?
Okay, what's really beautiful about chiropractic is it is the single most easiest way to affect the nervous system and make an influence on your nervous system. So it, 8 to 10% of the nervous system's function is pain. So there's 90% of function that is sending signals from your brain to every single cell, organ, system in the body. And we are able to, I don't even think of us as like spinal doctors. I think of us as nervous system doctors. The spine is the easiest way to affect the nervous system. And so that's what we do. We're checking the spine. Everybody's spine looks different, every single one. We always take x-rays, and it's amazing when you see it.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a second, this makes sense. We all have traumas. We all have stresses. We have emotional, chemical, and physical stresses. It affects our spine, and it affects our nervous system. Our nervous system is what takes in that info. So any traumas that are happening, the nervous system is remembering that. And then it's harder to adapt to stresses. So we constantly...
So it's a cumulative effect.
It's a cumulative, yeah.
Okay.
So the purest form you see of chiropractic is in babies. People are like, why are we adjusting babies? If, whenever they're born, it is a trauma, they're going through. And when you adjust them, it's so immediate, the difference in how they're feeding or how they're turning their head or how, if they're fussy or any of that, you see it automatically. And so that's the purest form. That's just like, wow. But later in life, we have so many things that just start accumulating, like you said, and we cannot react to those stresses as well. And so then we get sick easier. We're tired. We have a lot of fatigue. We just illness. I mean, we're just all these symptoms, gut health, all of it. And so that's what we're doing. We are looking at the person as a whole, going right to their nervous system, to help put the influence in there so it'll be more efficient. And we actually do nervous system scans, stress scans on people. And you can see exactly how you're adapting to those stresses. And it's really interesting to see, and it all makes sense when you see all of this data. It's really neat to see this, and you're like, wait a second, this all makes sense. This is why I'm having gut issues, or this is,
So how is the scan or test or whatever like actually qualifying that, right? What is it showing you that you can see the nervous system and how it's operating?
So there's a couple of different ones. One is a heart rate variability. So it sees how your heart is, the heartbeat is adapting. And if you're just sitting there and you're relaxed and you have your hand in there, you should be good to go. I mean, it should be really, in this like parasympathetic mode. It should just be rest and digest kind of mode. Yeah. And it'll show on the graph, like, how is this changing and why? So why are you not adapting well? And it'll show that diagram. And so that's one of them. And we see it over time, like we keep rescanning, and you can see this dot move on the chart to where literally that number is getting better with chiropractic. And then we have like a temperature scan as well. We should have a balance on each side. There shouldn't be differences so that'll show you kind of where the inflammation is, or where the pull is in the muscles. And so that's just kind of how there's one other one, but it's kind of how it's getting the data.
And I mean, I'm a believer in like the cumulative effect of lifestyle habits of that too, right? So, sleep, cortisol, stress, your diet, like all of those things are adding up too. So when you're seeing those items, are you helping clients with like preventative care, or like, hey, make some other adjustments with diet? Or
that's the thing. It can't be all on us.
Yeah.
And they have to be ready to change and ready to do their part too. There's so much involved in it. And I think we're so accustomed. I didn't even get adjusted when I was a kid. I'm kind of mad about that now. I was like, wait, what? I could have been adjusted this whole time. We're so used to reactive care. We're used to that. We're used to wait till something happens and then let's go get this medication or get this surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
That's great for when it's there, but if we're only relying on that, I've seen it. I've seen it on both sides personally, having to do medication and all that. You get all the side effects and you get all of these things. And so that's where this comes in. It's more taking care of it before.
Yeah. And
all of that.
And it's so from chiropractic care in general, like how much can you hope to improve through just that care? If you were to make no other alterations in lifestyle and just through chiropractic care, what have you seen as far as like success stories or improvements that you guys are like, this is a success?
Well, so many, but so I'm very results driven. So anybody that comes in, I always tell them what's interesting. They can get worse before they get better. It's bringing everything to the surface. It's letting the body recognize, wait, there's something actually going on, and you might not feel anything. There might be somebody that comes in, they don't have any symptoms. They're like, I don't know why I'm here, but I want to get adjusted.
Yeah.
They might all of a sudden just have soreness or just feel like really tired after it or something like that. It's bringing it to the surface, and then it's starting to and then it's going to accumulate over time to make that change. So if they weren't changing anything and they're just doing chiropractic, what I go back to infants when they don't have stresses really going on. They don't have a lot of things. You see it. I mean, you see this baby immediately poop almost always. You see them. We had one the other day. He was super fussy. You could tell he did not feel good at all. And he came in and he just kind of had like the teary eye. He was pitiful. He was not feeling good. And so my husband is the one that adjusted him. In the middle of the adjustment, he just suddenly just relaxed. He just suddenly did. And by the time they left, he was just good to go. And so that's like the purest form of actually just seeing this difference. But with adults, we have so much accumulated junk in our body. And so it takes time to see that difference. This isn't, I always tell people it took this long to get where you are right now. It's going to take some time to kind of bring you back. But
yeah, we didn't get here overnight. We're not going to change it overnight.
Yeah. And no, I mean, you absolutely can. We have people. So we've been in practice for 15 years. We have people that had still come from literally like our first patients that ever were there, and they come either weekly or every other week.
Yeah.
And they see those. It's a lifestyle change that you feel. You're just better able to adapt to stresses. It's pretty cool. I was trying to think of another story for you, or like a specific story, but I'll have to think on it. But there are so many cool things.
Yeah. I mean, in my own like personal fitness journey too, I mean, I've tried so many things, and I think going back to like almost not Old Testament, but like just what you put in your body is like what your body is going to produce.
Yeah.
Right. So I think diet is by far number one, because I changed my diet. You know, you lose weight, inflammation goes down. Can you talk a little bit about that on like just gut health in general, and like how you see that manifesting itself in increased cortisol levels, you know, inflammation, nervous system? Like, you know, you were mentioning that the chiropractic side of things, you know, can help that. What are you seeing on that? You know, American diets are notorious for being extremely unhealthy. So
inflammation is our killer. It is, and inflammation, I truly think the root cause of so much illness is stress. I talk about it all the time, but stress is the root cause, I really think. But then you have inflammation is what just sits in our body and makes us more sick and makes us uncomfortable and have pain. But in the gut, the same, you know. And so a lot of the foods like you're talking about, things that people eat, causes that inflammation. And so that's just so counteractive to that. But gut health has a lot to do with hormones and just how your what am I trying to say? Your attitude, how you feel is. I mean, what I'm trying to say, your it can cause like depression, anxiety, all of that.
Yeah.
If your gut is not in check. So he has I think there's so much to do with gut health in particular. Yeah.
Yeah. And like the first time I went to see a chiropractor, I mean, this is like an anecdotal story, but I kept throwing my back out, like lifting weights first, because I was, you know, in my late 20s and thought that there's no reason to do this, but like I was never going to make the Olympic weightlifting team. So like, why am I trying to deadlift 600 pounds? Right. So that's where it started. And then jujitsu, I was competing in jiu-jitsu, and you're just getting twisted up, and you're not rehabbing correctly, right? So your body's just kind of like, I don't know, just tense all the time. But the biggest change that I noticed, I went to a chiropractor, and that helped. It helped alleviate, like, you know, the impact of my disc and like stretching me out, and I felt better after I left. But it wasn't preventing me from doing it again. And then what I found is I changed my diet, first of all, and so my inflammation levels went way down.
Yes.
And then really strengthening like my hamstrings, my glutes, and my lower back, like just through working out. And I was doing way less weight, but like very slow, eccentric, and strengthening those muscles in your hips, because we sit down all day. So that's part of the problem too. So that made a huge difference. I haven't hurt my back since then, but I would like reach down to get like a bottle of shampoo in the shower, and then all of a sudden my back would like pop out of place.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Tracy, come get me.
I know. Yeah.
I need help. So, you know, I think it is a big cumulative effect, right? It's like you have to change the diet. You have to strengthen your body through resistance training, you know, yoga, stretching, whatever, and then adding in chiropractic. Like, not one of those things is going to cure you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's like, how do you create these lifestyle habits?
Yeah.
And then when you add in acupuncture, what is the intention of that? I know virtually nothing about that. I think the concept, and you tell me how stupid I sound, I think the concept is that you want to bring blood flow to a certain area because your blood can heal a lot of the muscle tissue or like inflammation in that area by drawing attention to it. But it's been around, thousands of years?
Forever. Do you know it was the first form of healthcare ever?
Acupuncture was?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so for me to even be doing it, it's just, I'm full of gratitude for that. It's so neat. So there's something to it.
Yeah.
It's been around forever.
Totally.
And, some people are not into chiropractic so much, but they are very much into acupuncture. There are.
Well, that's part of like treating the patient instead of the cause, right? It's like, what are you responding to? Because you could do chiropractic care every day and not get better, but then all of a sudden you introduce acupuncture and you're like, holy, I feel so much better.
And actually, Matt and I do that a lot. He might be seeing somebody and they're doing great, but then they get stuck. Something happened probably in their life. Something is really making them stagnant. He'll say, go get acupuncture, and it's like a full body reset. It'll reset them back. But what I can say is if you're doing both, you get better faster. I tell people that I watch it happen. You get better faster. You get your goals faster. But acupuncture, so that we run on energy. We have energy channels in the body. And just like if there's, a construction roadblock and cars can't get through, well, that's how it is with our energy channels. They get stagnant, and it's from the stresses as well. And so we put needles in specific points, and it helps that flow start again. Well, that's connected to everything in the body, the circulatory system, the nervous system, all that. And it's releasing hormones, bringing the blood circulation to certain areas, and just telling the body, hey, let's heal on our own, basically.
Yeah.
So that's,
Interesting. And so, but what's causing the healing?
You're taking out the stagnation.
Okay.
It's an efficiency. It's making your body run more efficiently. And, we have stagnation in life. We just feel it. And so that's what it's doing. I mean, it's truly like, hey, whoa, let's get this all flowing again,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like releasing water from a dam.
Yes. That's how,
Yeah.
That's exactly how I think about
Interesting. I definitely want to try that.
Yeah.
I would be open to doing chiropractic stuff too, and especially now I'm getting older. Man, sleep too. Like I'll wake up and my neck is like stuck like this, and I'm like, and I have like kind of this like bro mentality of like, it's fine. You just have to like go work out harder and then it'll get better. But sometimes it never gets better. Like I've had this issue with my neck. I popped it maybe 6 months ago on my right side, and I can't extend my neck all the way back on my right side.
Yeah. Like it just popped? Or you popped it?
No, this is how old I am.
I
literally woke up in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. And I went to stretch, like you're like yawning and stretching.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I was just like, I went like this, like, and my neck just went clink, clink, and like seized up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's my energy field or I'm just old now or what's going on.
Well, degeneration's happening.
Yeah.
And what's scary is our kids, they're on their iPads so much. And I mean, we're two, but we didn't start at, 2,
right.
They are going to have a reverse reverse curve, and it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. It puts so much pressure on those nerves.
Totally.
So that's one reason why kids should be that's number one reason they should be getting adjusted. But no, you said earlier that, whenever you're working out a lot and then you bent down and it just like went out. Well, that's what you have to worry about in time. That's what happens to a lot of, especially guys. They're not doing anything. They're literally like tying their shoe, and all of a sudden their back is out. And they'll call us over the weekend like, or it'll be like their wife. They'll text, say, can I get my husband in? I mean, he literally, what did he do? Nothing. Yeah. He was just vacuuming or what, something.
So one thing that I started noting, because I've thrown my back out probably 20 times since the first injury that I had. And sometimes it's worse than others. I mean, there was at one point where I was working out at a hotel in the Austin area, and I'd been driving all day. Every time I throw my back out, it's from bad posture and sitting for long periods of time, whether it's on an airplane or like I watched football for 6 hours on Sunday, and then Monday my back goes out. Like,
yes,
not standing up, not continuing to move, your hamstrings tighten up, your lower back tightens up, all of that stuff happens, and then, you know, it takes nothing and it just pops out of place.
Yeah.
So I was at this hotel in Austin. I'd been driving all day. I was like, I need to get a workout in. I'll just feel better. I did like 3 kettlebell swings and my back popped out, and I was like, oh man, that feels weird. And my solution to that was I was going to dead hang from the pull-up bar, because of course that would help. So I dead hang from the pull-up bar. My whole back seizes up. Okay, I couldn't get off the floor. I crawled on my hands and knees to the telephone in the gym. I had to call the front desk. I was like, I need you to bring a wheelchair up to the gym.
Oh my gosh.
And then, I mean, it was just bad. So
I love guys' solutions sometimes. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, we're
just
dumb. We're so dumb.
That's amazing.
Well, you know what I need to do is deadlift, and then it'll straighten my spine back out.
That's hilarious.
But what I've noticed is just, I mean, the diet, changing my diet, prioritizing sleep, because when you don't get sleep, you're mentioning like resting heart rate. Like if you have an Apple Watch or, you know, what are those other things that people wear on their wrists now? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. They're just whatever. The heart rate monitors. If you don't sleep well and you like wake up, let's say you had 5 hours of sleep, your resting heart rate's going to be higher anyway.
Yeah.
Because your body is like not well rested and it's trying to like keep itself awake and pressing forward. So if you prioritize that, that helps. And then I would always just suggest to everybody too, like prioritize your core and your lower body. That's another guy move, right? Skip leg day or don't prioritize leg day. But the stronger your legs are, your glutes, your hamstrings specifically, and your core, the less you're going to injure yourself.
Yep.
Especially as we get older. So, you know, I'm almost 40. You know, I'm like working in reverse now, trying to like
I swear when you turn 40, it's like things change. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know if you've ever heard of AMIT. This is another thing we do. Like I said, like we love chiropractic. We think it's the base, but there's so many things that help people. And AMIT is like you were saying all of that. And I was like, that's everything Matt would be saying right now. Core is everything. It activates muscles that have shut down. Coolest thing ever. It's not an adjustment. It is more of like an energy work. But whenever you injured yourself back in the day, it probably shut down some of the core muscles that you have, and you can reactivate those. And then it doesn't make you so vulnerable to injury. It's incredible.
And how do you do it? Is it like a pulse thing or what is it?
There's a map system, and so there's like points on the body, and you're holding these, and it's interesting. It kind of hurts. It's tender. Really? At a certain point, yeah, it's tender. But it's using lymphatic points, acupuncture points, and then particular points on these muscles. But this doctor that started this is in Utah, and he would see NBA athletes, and it was I'm mad that I can't remember his name. Stockton had a game in the finals where he sprained his ankle big time. I mean, it looked horrible on screen. He went back there. Dr. Bueller went back there and did AMIT on him. He was able to play the rest of the game. I mean, it looked like he broke it. Yeah. He was able to go right back out there and play because he activated these muscles. And so that's where it all kind of began. Yeah. It's incredible.
That is great. You know, the first time I heard that, I was like, that is so insane.
Yeah.
Like when you tell someone that, it's so insane to think that that's a solution for anything. You're like, how is that even possible? I know. And then you look into that doc. Didn't he like work for the Olympic Committee or something? I think so. Too? And he did
all kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like tried and true. And I know a couple friends that have like really jacked their shoulders up or whatever and gone to see him. And the next day they're out playing golf.
So that's who we were trained by. We went to Utah and we were trained by him. I mean, it's incredible work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy how the body, like almost everything you need is already in your body.
I know. You said it perfectly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We're just bringing that to the surface and letting your body, we are not treating anything, healing anything. It's your own body doing it. Yeah. It's just taking out those interferences.
Yeah, and you say something about like acupuncture, and there's like thousands of years of history of acupuncture being used in Eastern medicine and being able to apply that to today. And then you get to add on advances in modern medicine that help too. So
Yeah.
one thing that's really helped change my life, especially as I'm aging, is peptides, right?
Yeah.
Real popular ones, NAD plus, BPC 157.
Yep.
Can you just talk about like the advancements in that and what you've seen? And again, I come to you as a first time client, right? Why do I need to be on peptides? What are we looking for? What's out there that can help?
So peptides, we started bringing these back when we opened Pure Health in 2019. A lot of people didn't know about it yet, and now it's really picking up more steam, and there's just more info about it. But it is truly a naturally occurring. It's a chain of amino acids, just small chains that tell our body different functions, and it's what we have in our body. But because we age and from stresses, we decrease it over time.
Yeah.
And so when we can supplement with it, it's a
game changer.
It's like, what is happening? This is new age. This is like a movie. It's like, how is this possible that we can take this stuff? And so, the BPC 157 is great for healing, for injuries, all of that. And then you have ipamorelin that is great for leaning out muscle, decreasing fat, for sleep. Even the ones that are for weight loss, they're actually like semaglutide and tirzepatide. They're actually finding that is decreasing inflammation in the body as well. So some MDs are even telling their patients that have inflammatory issues, hey, try this out.
Yeah.
And so, it's incredible to have access to that and they keep trying to kind of take it away from us sometimes. And we're like, no.
Yeah. I remember BPC 157 specifically was off the radar for a long time, and they just brought it back. But I think a lot of that is the way the American health system is set up, where they want you sick because then they can sell you all these drugs and stuff. BPC 157 is such some people call it like the Wolverine drug. Because
that's actually what we call it. Yeah.
Because you recover so quickly, because it reduces inflammation. But, big pharma wants you to have inflammation. They don't want you to they want all that buildup so that they can prescribe you, XYZ that doesn't really actually help you. And that's been my fear too about like these semaglutide and, because I think you need to treat the patient, right? And not just sell things in mass to people. And it seems like America is like drunk on GLP-1s now. Yeah. Right? Like everyone's on it. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like who should be on it? What does it actually help you? You hear all these like horror stories too of like, well, I'm losing bone density and my muscles going down and my, What was its original intention and who should actually be on it?
Its original intention was to help people that were diabetic, to help with blood sugar regulation, and I'm not great on the history of it, of exactly did they know it was going to help them lose weight as well. I don't know, but it absolutely, you have to have so much protein, and I think a lot of people aren't educated on it, and maybe some doctors prescribing it, they don't. I don't know if they tell their patients or not, but
they don't, because you can literally, there's an Instagram site that you can, like a hims.com or whatever. You can just go on there, do a telehealth consult that's 5 seconds long, and then they'll just prescribe you a GLP-1. That's like insane to me.
Which honestly,
same thing I would say about like anything. Testosterone, hormone replacement, any of that stuff. You should not be getting that in a 5-minute consult without your blood work being done, without ongoing monitoring from a healthcare professional of like, hey, what's changing in your body? Because just like we talked about earlier, it's not for everybody. You could take something and it gives you a way worse reaction, or it could be like the solution you've been looking for your whole life.
And everybody's different. Everybody's different. And we have to take control of our own, what we're putting in our body. And so we have to research. It doesn't matter what we're prescribed. We have got to know what could happen, or what, just know all of the things. And we can't really put that all on our doctors to like make sure we know every single thing, because our bodies can react different. Everybody's different.
Right. But that's where the monitoring comes into place, right?
It's like, yeah, for sure.
6 months later, hey, we need to check in. We need to pull your blood panel again and just make sure everything's good.
Right. Yeah. But who should be on them? It's really, it's so different. You know, people are actually, are you talking about like the weight loss ones?
Just in general, like if you were if you're a physician and you have this tool in your tool chest, you're not using it for every task, right? So who are you looking to use it for? Obviously, it helps with weight loss, but you also mentioned inflammation.
So really, I don't know how many doctors are really prescribing as much as it's more people, I don't know, but getting info and saying, wait, I want that, you know, because sometimes it's not treating. I mean, you know, we talked about all the neat things that it's doing. So I think doctors are just now MDs are just now getting on board with it, of telling clients about it. But I think people are seeking it out that want leaner muscle or want to heal better or want the weight loss too. Right. Some people are even microdosing those peptides because it helps with gut health. It helps them feel better. And
it helps curb appetite.
It's actually really, they're all so great. But one can react different with somebody. I mean, there can be there's really very, very, very low side effects, but there can be. I think with anything. Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so important. And I want your take on this. I mean, you and your husband are, you know, mature parents. You're running businesses. You know, we're all getting older, and you guys have these like lifestyles and habits that are effective. So I want to get your insight on that. But I think that it has to all start with like the fundamental of the habits you build.
Absolutely.
So it has to be based off of nutrition first, what you're putting in your body, eating enough protein, and some sort of resistance training.
Absolutely.
Period. Whether it's once a week or 3 times a week or whatever, you don't have to be Mr. Universe, but you need to, if you can incorporate those 2 things in your life and then prioritize sleep, I think that will solve 70% of a lot of people's problems.
I agree.
Not having those habits and those fundamentals in place and then doing what us as Americans do, which is immediate gratification of like, oh, I'll just take a GLP-1 or I'll just take a peptide or that stuff. That's what I think the insanity is that I think is the long-term harm that could be caused. It's like and again, that goes back to like, you know, we have freedom of choice. You know, we're all our own individuals. We can make those decisions. But if you're making that decision without changing the other habits in your life, I think you're setting yourself up for a lot of issues.
You said that so well because I see it. I see that with people, especially on the weight loss peptides. They don't really get healthier because maybe they've lost the weight, but now they have zero muscle because they've never implemented. And this isn't everybody. This is just a few that just, if you don't make those lifestyle changes, you're still really the same person. It's just a little less weight. But they lose the muscle, and it's like, you said it perfectly.
And that's dangerous too for longevity. So when you look at like all of these, one thing I love about health and wellness right now is there's so much like acute data that's coming out about things that you can change and what leads to longevity in a healthy life, right? Grip strength, muscle mass, and basically your equilibrium, like your balance, like having a strong core, being able. So as you're aging, right? If you're losing muscle mass, what happens when you're 70 years old?
That's right.
Slipping and falling is like one of the number 1 causes of death, right? So that ends your longevity right there. So if you're not putting yourself in a position to like, hey, I need to do some resistance training, make sure my balance is good, and you're just taking these GLP-1s that you're losing bone density, you're losing some muscle mass, you're weaker at the end of the day, right? That's the end result.
Exactly.
So I would just precaution anyone like that's looking for longevity specifically, and that's the only thing I care about now. I'm almost 40 years old. I got young kids. I want to be running around with them and my grandkids when I'm in my 70s and 80s. I got a late start with that, right? So I'm already kind of like, I'm going to be an old
Same. I'm like, I hope I'm around for my grandkids. Gosh, I'm so old.
So what are like, you know, I think you and your husband are a great example of how to be extremely busy, because those are excuses I hear all the time too.
Yeah.
Of like,
Right,
I don't
too
have
busy.
time to work out.
That's right.
Well, you're sleeping in until 8 a.m., first of all. So why don't you wake up at 6 and go get a half an hour workout in?
Yep.
What are the habits and things that you and your husband have put in place? And I think everyone that can relate to this, that's a parent, right? When you first have kids, it's chaotic.
Yes.
Right? Your whole life changes overnight. Your schedule becomes theirs, not yours.
Yep.
But somehow during that, you guys manage to, keep a healthy relationship, parent your kids, run a company, stay in shape. So what are those like fundamental habits that you guys put together that's like, hey, these are non-negotiables of like, how do we get this done?
Yeah.
How do we accomplish everything we want to and be here?
Honestly, number one is probably, not number one, but very, very important is exercise. I'm so glad that Matt is also very passionate about it too, but I genuinely think it saved my life through all of my past history with health stuff, and still to this day. And what I've learned is we used to like every day even on vacation, we're going to work out. We just love it. We enjoy it. But because it gives you energy and it makes you feel, and when you start to feel weak and you're just, how do you get through the day? So, but what I've learned, and this has been a hard lesson, but once I turned 40 is I can't go 100% all the time now. Yeah. So
recovery is as important
recovery
as
I'm all about recovery. We can go there too. I have figured that out because I learned I cannot do 2 days anymore. I can't. I would try. And then I don't need to work out 7 days a week or even 5. I could go down to 3, 4 and I'm good and I feel great.
Especially if your diet's in order.
Absolutely.
And you're not,
Yeah. And
your days off should not be like pizza and wing day every day.
Right.
You got to stick to the plan.
You've got to. And of course have balance and all that. I mean, there's going to be, go out to eat once in a while. But truly, I think that has been huge for us. One thing, a habit that we put in place too was date nights. I mean, that was huge for us. And even, what it's like when you have like little ones. I'm sure Tracy was exhausted. Like I would have days, I'm exhausted. I don't want to go on a date. I don't feel like it. But we would. And we would even like go cycle or do something, active and fun. Yeah. But still today, I mean, this morning, he was saying bye and he's like, let's do a date night tonight. I'm like, let's do that, And I think we have to, that has been so.
It's a game changer.
It is a game changer.
Yep.
And travel. I know we get judged. I know we do. When we leave, we have to like, everybody knows, all of our clients know, but that has been huge for us to break away. We come back stronger. We come back with ideas. We can give 100% to our clients because we have taken a break with our family or without. And so that has been huge. I'm trying to think I'm all about morning routine. All about it. I refuse to like be in a hurry in the morning. I want to wake up earlier than my kids is always good. And just really get mindset going for the day.
So what's your morning routine? Walk me through that.
I like to wake up about 5 is when I let my kids will be like, you don't do that every day. I don't. Not every single day. But on the good days, this is but yeah, I like to get up at 5 and I like to go through affirmations, gratitude. I sometimes journal things. But anything to do to get into the right mindset, gratitude brings our vibration to the highest. So that's how we can get our vibration really high to start the day.
Yeah.
So anything that I can do. And then I love green tea. So I get my cup of green tea and I love the sauna. Sometimes I'll get in there. I do not work out until about 10. So I actually really used to love getting up really early and working out and getting it done in the morning. But with kids now, I don't do that. I do it a little bit later.
Like you got to get them out for the day.
I have to get them out and then I could go enjoy. But the best days are workout days, and so get that in. But I think number one, it's getting mindset set for the day,
Yeah. I have a very similar setup. And the two crossover, I mean, I wake up at 5 That's the only time I have alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Until my kids wake up.
Yeah.
So I'll make their lunch and get their breakfast ready, but I have my coffee, usually read my Bible, or I'm reading something else.
Yeah.
And I'm setting my mindset for the day and looking at my schedule and planning like, hey, what do I want to actually accomplish today? I think that's huge. And it's very similar to like the date night with your wife, right? Even if you don't feel like doing it, you guys are tired, it's the end of the day. Just that, like, we'll go to dinner and then we'll go to like reflexology and just get like foot massages
love doing
together.
that.
Right?
That's amazing.
Because it's so good. You put your phone down. Sometimes we'll just like sit there and hold each other's hands and not say anything and just like, oh my God, it's been a long day, and just like kind of de-stress and like kind of soak in and think about the day. But other times we'll just like sit there and talk to each other for an hour. That's the most conversation uninterrupted you're going to have all week.
Exactly.
And that's so powerful to like reset your relationship, your connection.
Yes.
And I would encourage people to do that with themselves. Like that 1 hour in the morning, whether it's, scripture or daily affirmations or whatever, that's a conversation with you.
Exactly.
Right. And you might have a conversation with you and God, but it's like, it's so important to turn the mirror on yourself and have a conversation with yourself of like being honest with yourself about what you want to accomplish, where you are in your life, and what you plan on doing. So I think so many people, because of all the distractions that are in the world, you mentioned iPads earlier and TV, and then you have social media, like it's so easy to distract yourself from you.
Exactly.
You're distracting yourself like away from your own mind and your own heart of like, hey, I need to check in with myself.
That's so true.
And be like, let's get this, going. So it's really interesting. Like a lot of successful and like motivated people that I talk with, those schedules are very similar.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's like alone time, whether it's in the sauna by yourself or reading or whatever it is, they have to take that alone time, and they try to limit distractions from outside influences as much as possible. It's very rare you ever meet anybody that's successful or highly motivated that's like on TikTok all day.
So true.
or like they never miss a game on TV or whatever.
Right.
When you meet those people, it's like, how do you do that?
Right.
Oh, you're not accomplishing the thing that you promised yourself you would do. Right.
I tell people to schedule it too. Schedule your time, whatever it is.
Well, while we were talking about mindset too, and you had mentioned, your battle with cancer and coming through that, kind of talk to me. I mean, I've never been through anything like that.
And I never want you to go through
I'm inspired by just like your demeanor. Like it's so easy, I think, for people too to be, down on themselves, or like they crawl into a hole and be like, woe is me kind of thing.
Victim.
So what was your mindset when all that happened? How do you break through that, and how has it changed you just having that experience?
It was the most shocking, obviously, thing we've ever thought we would go through, and so at first I was terrified and I was pissed and I was like, what is happening? But I knew to get all of my facts in line, and I learned really quickly to take control and not, you get told no once in a while, or nope, this isn't going to work for you, or what. I refused to hear that kind of thing. If there was something that didn't feel right to me, then I would get a different consultation with a different doctor. I went to Dallas for a lot of stuff, and I would really seek out answers, and I also, it happened really fast. Once you find out something like that, everything just rolls out. I mean, it's so quick. And I learned very quickly, that's actually when I really started these morning routines. Actually, I'm sure I did some of it before, but like intentional morning routines started then. Because you only go day by day. You can't look past that. It's like not even possible. And so I would have to center and think of anything positive I could think of. And I did. I didn't focus on all of the bad. I would focus on how supported I was. And so the people around, my husband, incredible. And And so I would just focus on that and focus on anything, finding the right doctors and finding the right kind of treatments that seemed right. And I would notice signs. Like we were in Dallas and we were just about to do my double mastectomy. And I remember looking out the window, we were at a restaurant, and it said, "What's the best that could happen?" And I was like, what's the best that could happen? What is? I came out of that surgery in that situation the best it could have possibly been. It's crazy. No one has a great experience with that. I didn't have a bad experience at all. Incredible doctors, incredible experience. And I think it's truly because of mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I followed this mindset of just, what is the best good at what? I mean,
have you always been like that, or was there like a point in your life that you made a conscious effort to do that? Because I don't think that's like innate. I think there's people that are optimistic, right? But
yeah,
I don't think it's like a practice that, if you're just like naturally optimistic, sometimes you're like foolish in your optimism, right? So like, was there something that happened where you're like, I'm going to make a real effort on my mindset? And
I think it was that.
Really?
I think I've always been positive, and thinking of the positive, but I think that was the moment that I learned you have control of it. And if you don't, it will be the worst experience. That was the worst experience anyways. It could have been a million times worse if I would have not had the right mindset. I have great memories from that time. That is so bizarre. I would go on walks with your wife. I mean, I loved having those walks. I mean, it's just, there was so much good to take from it. And I am a better doctor now. I truly think I'm more empathetic. I can help people more. I truly take that experience as something I just needed to go. I was meant to go through it and to help others later. I mean, I really think that. So, yeah.
So you weren't making a conscious effort really before that. You were trying to remain positive, but it seems like this situation forced your hand a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Where like the alternative is like
which way you're going to go.
Yeah, alternative is doom and gloom.
Totally. Yep.
So for like people out there that may be going through something like this or just are struggling with mindset in general, what are the things that helped you to like develop that muscle? Because I doubt that like day one of you got a cancer diagnosis, you're like, oh, I have all the tools to like help my mindset, right? So what helped you with that? How do you strengthen that muscle?
Well, I remember I was given a gratitude journal. I'd never had that. A gratitude journal, They gave me a gratitude journal, and I remember opening that, and that's where it all began. I started that in the morning, and I would just write, it out. What I was grateful for, That was the easiest, because that guides you, in a way to write things. And then when I had this journal, then I would write down affirmations from that. I would start writing them out, and our mind talks to every cell in our body. And there's so much I've done with this. I've done a lot of work with mindset, because fear can take us over, and it can absolutely make us more sick.
Yep.
And so I've had to do a lot of work, but that's where it all began, was really, I think it was that simple thing.
Gratitude journal.
Yeah. Really simple. And I mean, you're big in faith as well. I think that that was when I truly, have found my true connection with God as well during that time. And that was really cool. I've always been, raised in a church and all of that, but to truly experience the feeling of letting go, I don't have control. I leave it to you. And he got me out of the situation immediately. Was like, what? So that was huge. It was so many huge moments.
Yeah. That's beautiful to hear. And I think that a lot of people have that experience too, just with faith, right? It's like you grow up in the church, you're kind of just like following direction from your parents.
Exactly.
And even attending church, and I've had kind of like an epiphany with this too, of like going to church is like, you could just be attending a theology class at a college, because what's happening at church is they're like reading the scripture and interpreting it to you, or telling you like, hey, these are the things you need to obey, right? The real connection with God and the real connection with your own faith is the actions you take from that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough just to go take in the information and like, oh, I feel a little bit better. You know, the worship service was so great and I got to sing and, you know, put my hands up and
right.
That's not the connection. What the requirement of you is to take action with that information.
Mm-hmm.
And so even when you're saying, you know, I gave it to God, you did, but you also took action.
Mm-hmm.
You also woke up and you decided consciously, like, I am going to give this to God, but I'm also going to help myself in my own mental, you know, God's job is not to like save you from your own stupidity.
Right.
It's to, hey, I gave you all these tools to do something with. I trust that you're going to also use those too. And I think that's such an important connection that you need to make.
Exactly.
Really, even just in your mindset. If you're not open to Christianity or learning more about that, and you just want to improve your life from that, I think there's so many lessons they can learn from listening to your story and just, hey, I need to start my day off with positive affirmation and getting your brain chemistry to a place like that's what it's feeding off of. Because we can easily feed off of the food of negativity too. Your brain can, right? Isn't that insane that your brain is like, you get endorphins from both.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Isn't that kind of gross?
And why do people always want to tell you the negative?
Right.
I mean, they love it.
I think it's avoidance. I think it's avoidance of themselves. I think that's why gossip exists. I think that's why judging other people exists, because it's avoidance of yourself. It's avoidance of the conversation that you're having in your own head.
Yeah.
And if you can escape that, make someone else feel a little bit lower, or make yourself feel a little bit better from, you know, a tough time somebody else is going through, you get to avoid all of the own stuff that's taking place with you.
Yes.
And there is some sort of brain, like if you think about that, the relief from yourself, if you're unhappy with who you are, the relief from yourself is an endorphin. I get to talk trash about Dr. Lindsey and, you know, or her kids are misbehaving and I'm not the parent that I want to be. So I get to judge her for how she parents her kids or whatever. And I just get that little break from myself of like, I'm disappointed in me.
I've never even thought about it that way. I like it.
So
I agree.
Stop it. No,
don't do that.
Well, I really appreciate you being here. I'd love to have you on more, and I'd like to actually talk more and maybe even have your husband on too separately and get his opinion also. But like as things are maturing in this health and wellness space, and I think that people could massively benefit from it. I think they could benefit from just having a conversation with you. I would recommend to anyone, especially over the age of like 35, is you should start with your blood, get a blood panel done, see what you're deficient in, see what can kind of like put you on track, and you know, meet with Dr. Lindsey and with Infinity Wellness. And also Pure Health, right? Pure Health is the IV peptide side, and Infinity Wellness is the chiropractic.
Exactly, yes.
Awesome. I would definitely start there and just see like what adjustments, no pun intended, or maybe, that you can make in your own life and solve those issues.
You know, I always talk about a lot of things. I do, you know, I try all different things, and so people will come to me and say, what do I start with? I don't want anybody to think they have to do it all.
Yeah.
And everybody's different. And so I do consults that will just talk about it. Let's figure out what would be great for you, you know, and everybody's different. So,
well, I think that's another great thing to point out. So like my wife is definitely guilty of this and I make fun of her for it, but like she'll try like 5 things at one time, right? Of like, hey, methylene blue and this peptide and chiropractic adjustments and acupuncture and reflexology or whatever it is, right? And I'm like, how do you know which one of those things is making the benefit? Yeah. Right? Now, you could say the shotgun approach is great and you just feel better, so just stick with that. But like, how would you recommend someone go on that health journey? Like from start to finish? Like I sit down with you, walk me through that process. Like what does that look like?
Okay. You're not going to like this first answer, but truly, whenever I talk to people, I'm like, if you would just start with chiropractic, we go from there. Like, even if you don't decide to do chiropractic, but it is way more, I get to pay attention to like how things are changing. And it's just more very much you have somebody watching over how's everything going. And then, but anyways, if not, I see what their goals are. It's all about goals. What is your goal? Is it long-term or short-term? Is it pain? Is it fatigue? What is it? And then it might be ozone when you're sick and not feeling well. That's the best thing ever if you're not feeling well. Might be an IV to pep you back up, or if you're having having a race soon. But it might be AMIT, for past injuries. And so I would just sit with somebody and say, what are your goals? And this is how I would guide you, to each of them. You don't need to do all this stuff at the same time, but it depends on what's going on.
Can I make a suggestion on that?
Yeah.
This changed our business life like monumentally because goals are fleeting things. Because when you reach them, unless you have the other goals set up, the real difference maker is why do you want to do those things?
Okay, I like it.
And learning from those people, like, I want to fix my shoulder. Okay, why?
Why? I love that.
Because it hurts. Okay, well, think 20 years from now.
Right.
Why? Because I want to pick up my grandkids. Because I want to, be able to golf every day. Because I want to, like, if you really extract that is the fruit, I truly believe, of people accomplishing the goal.
I love that.
It's like, why do you want to get in shape?
Why?
Why do you want to be healthy? Why do you want to eat better? Is it all aesthetic? Because one day you're going to wake up and you're going to look better. Yeah. So then what? Then why are you doing it?
I love that.
And I think just digging that like extra piece, like when we help people on the financial side too, it's like, I want to own, 10 properties and I want to retire at 45 and, quit my W-2 job and all those things. That sounds great. But why do you really want to do it?
I love that.
What is it? Because do you hate your job? That's a whole different thing that we need to discuss, right? Or you love your job, but you want to spend more time with your family or whatever. Like, we can solve that and put you on a track to hit that as long as you know why you're doing it. Because I can sell you a property or put you into a portfolio that is going to make you the money and the returns that you want to make. But I can't solve for your purpose, like why you actually want to accomplish this thing. I think that's like...
Love it.
Game change.
I'm with, Love
well,
that.
Dr. Lindsey, I really appreciate it. I'm just going to call you Doc now.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, where can people find you on social media, website? How do we get a hold of you?
My social media is on Instagram. Love Life Wellness is a great way. Of course, we have Infinity Wellness Center and Pure Health as well on there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.